very 18th hour of Adventurers Wanted Rebellion. My name is Leo. I'm going to be your game master this morning. And this performance is a relaxed performance, which means that we have a relaxed attitude to movement and sound from the audience for the benefit of people who would struggle to stay still or silent for an entire hour. The lighting will stay just like this, and there won't be any sudden explosive noises, will there, James? No. There may be some underlying mood music, however. If you do feel like you need a break, please do feel free to stick your head out the door. Please do come back for the rest of the hour when you feel ready. If you do need help with anything, Naomi is our stage manager this morning. Please do catch her attention and we'll try and help you as best we can. Now, in case you don't know what a tabletop role-playing game is, how this works is the four people on my left and right control individual unique characters in a fantasy setting. And as the game master, I control the fantasy setting. I control the weather, the time of day, the antagonists that they come up against. And to try and keep things relatively fair, we use dice to interact with each other. The most common die we will use is this 20-sided one, or you'll hear us refer to it as a D20. 1 being very, very, very bad, and 20 being very, very, very good. So keep out your ears for the numbers. We'll skate over much of the rest of the maths as much as possible. If you do have any questions, please feel free to shout them from the audience. Story so far is our characters have been part of a slave workforce for the last 5 years, and they've taken an opportunity. There's a power vacuum in their imperial overlords, and they've taken that as an opportunity to rebel. They threw off the cult, as we're calling them, in their hometown, and then they united the local region, bringing in the elves from the forest and the dwarves from the mountain, and a secluded sect of human sorcerers are now helping them as well. Wow, sibilance there. That wasn't intended. It will be from now on. And they have, thank you. And they have decided to join all of these factions together and assault the capital of their country, Goldcrest, to try and take it back from the cult. Their current plan was to free one of the farms or the farmlands in the local area to get even more forces, and also to act as a distraction, if I may quote, violent distraction, to allow them to sneak in and free the jail. Free the prisoners from the jail inside the city, thus creating a sort of two-pronged riot. I think that's fair. Yeah. Before we jump straight back into the action, you'll see why in a minute. Let's meet our players and their characters. So, starting on my right here, please introduce yourself and tell us about your character, their name, their pronouns, and a little bit of where their head is at the moment.
My name is Nemo. My personal pronouns are they, them. My character is Telemachus, who is a elf rogue. They also use they, them pronouns, and they are a sort of John Lawrence, Hamilton John Lawrence, and Stevoni kind of mashup. Yes. So very excited and down to rebel, and just.
Are you sure they're not more of a peridot?
That's true. They want to be a Stevoni, but are more of a peridot.
Yeah. Go on.
I don't get any of those references.
That's fine.
My character, my name's James. My character is Locke, who is he, him. He is a tiefling, which is like a half demonic warlock, and has cripplingly low self-esteem, and has come on this adventure to try and get his groove back.
You didn't mention his tail this time. That's progressive.
I like to spring that upon people. Not in now.
I'm G. I play Harvey, who's a large bird person type thing. Looks very parrot-like. Originally from the elemental plane of air, but was trapped in the material realm when he became enslaved. He's a cleric. He, him. and he occasionally flies people right up in the air and drops them.
That has happened.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Chloe. I'm playing Flair, who is a fire genasi bard. So kind of musical magic, and also doesn't have hair, has just flames, which have sometimes been useful, sometimes not so useful. She uses she, her pronouns, and right now she is just, whilst the plan seems to be falling apart, she's not really smart enough to notice, so she is just delighted there's a plan. That she is just so happy there is some kind of a plan.
And as we rejoin the action, she is actually disguised as one of the cultist members still.
Yes.
Currently, if I remember correctly, a stout brunette, sort of muscly type woman in red and green robes is what she actually looks like currently. What has literally just happened is that Flair accidentally... So they had this group of rangers that they'd set up a code word with, and the code word was, because James thought it would be funny, code word. So the code word was code word, and Flair said perhaps we should say the code word.
We were trying to figure out what to do because we weren't quite sure at that point.
And the Rangers heard code word said and jumped the attack a little bit earlier than they expected, which means that now they find themselves in melee combat with a mangler, which is this sort of emaciated, six-limbed eldritch monstrosity, which is hunched over at 5 feet and has these tufts of black hair sprouting out across its body. Telemachus, I'm assuming that you're actually one part of the ranger group, that's why you were there. Harvey, how come you have arrived at this particular moment?
So it's something I've had in my head for Harvey as a character, but it's not really been relevant so far. Harvey's an alcoholic, and so after the last fight he was in, he just went on a bender, and then sort of wakes up and realises everybody in the town has gone off on this mission. So he flies to join them. So I figure at this point he is flying in swooping in as the battle commenced.
Got it. Fantastic. Can everybody... Sorry, go on.
I was just wondering, because when I sat down I was like, I want Harvey and Telemachus to be friends. Could Harvey have, flown Telemachus in?
Yeah. Just bearing in mind, Harvey's hungover, so it's been a rough flight.
Telemachus has, what's it called? The fizzy orange stuff, and it's just
Barocca,
and it's just pouring.
No, Iron Brew. I thought you meant Iron Brew.
Iron Brew, yeah.
Other effervescent vitamin C supplements are available. Right, can I get everybody to roll initiative, please, just to see the order in which we're going to fight. It's a very polite combat. We take turns.
I got a 4.
Fantastic.
6.
It's going well.
Modified 20.
Okay.
10.
Which leads us to Harvey's turn first. So as you swoop in, holding Telemachus, you can see below you the rangers led by the elf Ilassi have just popped up from the grass and the bushels and fired off some arrows, which has dropped an entire cultist patrol like that, like there were nothing. Mm-hmm. And Kidmat, the bovine paladin, took this as an opportunity to yell, and along with one of the dwarf barbarians ran into the town square and started fighting whatever they could get their hands or blades on, I should say.
Okay, so I'm assuming the mangler stands out to me as a significant threat.
Yeah, it's pretty horrible.
I'd like to try casting Calm Emotions on the Wrangler.
Have you got a range for that there?
I just looked it up, 60 feet.
60 feet, so you'll have to swoop within 60 feet of it. But yeah, absolutely.
So
what are you doing with Telemachus?
I guess I land us on a roof.
How were they... Hang on, sorry. How were they being flown in? Because you've established your height at 5 foot previously. Were you holding them like this? Like a Superman Lois Lane thing? Or was it the shoulders?
I've got wings as well as my 4 limbs. So I guess legs and arms just...
Okay.
We think
it was awkward to begin with, but after it's been a long flight, so we got into it. It's fine, I think.
Okay.
We think it looks really cool, but it probably just looks really stupid.
So I guess I guess I fly and I land us on a roof
So
or something that's a bit out of reach of like melee weapons.
Yeah, absolutely. It's only a small hamlet. There's about 8 buildings around and a large stockpile of what looks to be barrels of hay and corn in the middle of the town square.
Yeah.
But yeah, you land on one of the buildings.
Cool. And so I looked it up. It's a range of 60 feet and a radius of 20.
Ooh.
So am I going to hit anything else?
Yes.
Right.
You will hit Kidmat and Markson.
Right.
They need to calm down, really.
Of
Yeah.
course, they ran ahead.
Yeah.
They ran ahead.
Okay.
So what is it? Is it saves from me?
Let me just double check.
Noodly rolls.
Charisma saving throw.
Yeah, thought so. Okay. So you don't need to roll anything, but
Cool.
please do describe to us how the spellcasting takes place.
There's nothing there. I just get to make it up. Right. My eyes glow green, sort of green aura coming out of my eyes and the palms of my hands, and a bolt sort of shoots towards the Mangler. Shoots towards the Mangler, and when it hits, it kind of puffs out in like a 20 feet radius cloud, and sort of dissipates.
And when that cloud dissipates, you see beforehand Kidmat with his great sword and Markson with the axe, and the Mangler was there with its 6 arms about to attack, and then when the cloud dissipates, all of them are just sort of stood there looking at each other like, if you want your maths, I rolled really poorly. One of them was a modified 0.
No.
Wow, amazing.
It's even worse than me.
Yeah. This calm emotions has indeed calmed the emotions in the middle of that battle.
And I guess as a bonus action, can I then get helping? Blanked on the name. Sorry.
Telemachus.
Help get me and Telemachus down onto the ground. To be part of.
That's
fight.
part of your. Yeah, you can
Like
do
a
that as
bonus
part of your movement. So you have your action
cool.
and your movement. You can.
Great.
Yeah. So can I get acrobatic checks from both of you, please?
4.
Natural 20s.
So in trying to help Telemachus off the roof, you'd forgotten that they were a rogue and very good at that, and they do a flip. And you were not prepared for that, and in shock, you just sort of fall
Face plant.
off of the roof
Okay.
for 3 bludgeoning damage.
I feel like I would do the flip and then try and catch Harvey.
Okay.
Oh.
Dexterity saving throw.
Is this within, like, mine and Locke's
Yes.
field of view? Okay.
16.
16. Okay. You can halve that to 1 bludgeoning damage. Why not?
Thanks.
As Telemachus
Cheers, Telly.
breaks your fall.
Yeah, I do the flip, land, and then just my arms are already open, and then just catch him.
That's amazing. Fantastic. That leads us to Flair's turn. Oh, no, it doesn't. It leads us to the Mangler's turn. So the Mangler's going to save against Carve Emotions. I've rolled a 15. What's your spellcasting DC there?
It'll be, 13?
13.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've managed to save against your calm emotions, but the whole turn passes, and I get to save at the end. So it basically it calms down and goes, and then roars again, and it's this toothy maw opens, and it's ready to combat again. But that's its entire turn, leading us to Flair.
Okay. Flair, how far away is the Mangler from Flair at the moment?
About 60 feet.
60 feet. Oh, okay. So basically, dash and be ready. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think...
Or it'll be 30 feet away if you don't dash.
Yeah. Well, I think Flair, loves having some confidence and thinking that there's a plan. She gets out the stolen sword that she has from the mines, which looks like the cultist swords. So, still looking like a cultist. Just uses her entire action to just run straight at the Mangler, just going, PLAN!
Going what?
She was shouting
Plan.
plan.
Oh, plan.
Sorry, fantasy New Zealand accent.
Oh yeah, I had forgotten the New Zealand accent.
Yeah, so she's literally just running with this sword, being like, I have confidence in this plan. So much confidence. And it's basically like stopping right up by the mangler.
Okay, fantastic. That will lead us to Locke.
So, when all them cultists got shot down, you said that there was one Gru that had run off towards a farm,
I did.
presumably to murder everyone on that farm.
Well, you have no idea.
Well, that's what I'm assuming, because Grus aren't nice.
Grus are these small dog-like creatures, lipless and covered in black fur, and they're just like
How
teeth with legs.
How far away is that Gru from me?
It would be about 80 feet at this point. And it's moving full pelt.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do, because I'm trying to be a good person. I will use my 30-foot movement action to run towards it.
Okay.
As a bonus action, I will use Misty Step, which teleports me up to 30 feet to somewhere I can see, which brings me to within 20 feet of it,
yeah.
and then I will cast Eldritch Blast on its ass.
Okay, so Locke basically starts sprinting.
Tom Cruise.
So Tom Cruise sprints, and then as you blink, you thought he was there, and he's there. And he's 30 feet displaced from where he was, which Tom Cruise wishes he could do.
And I'm taller.
And then cast. How does your Eldritch Blast look again?
It's like a kind of purpley reddish kind of force of energy
Awesome.
that comes out of his hand. And I still have my inspiration dice, which I'll use when I inevitably fail at. No, I cast a 1. It was a 1. I'm not going to waste my inspiration dice on that.
I mean, it was all a bit much. The Misty Step, the sprinting, the Eldritch Blast just pings off into the air and acts as a signal flare for the entire area.
Thanks,
Oh no.
Jeez.
I'm signalling all the farmers to come and fight for us.
Do you hear the people?
Really hope I do.
Telemachus, that's your turn.
I will.
You've just landed, Harvey in arms, in front of the mangler about 30 feet away.
I want to use some of the hay that's in one of the house things to disguise.
The hay.
Yeah.
So the hay's in the centre of the town square.
Oh, okay.
The houses presumably are being used to house people.
Okay. Drats. Okay, I'll just try and sneak my way over then.
Okay.
Normally.
Do you put Harvey down?
Does Harvey want to be put down?
Yes.
Okay. I put Harvey down then.
Great.
Okay. Can you roll a stealth check for me, please?
20 unnatural.
Fantastic. So, just because it's been my favourite moment of GMing so far, can you please describe to us Telemachus's stealthing?
Telemachus is super stealthy, so that when they stealth, they basically worm their way over, but like in their head are also whispering, "Stealth, stealth, 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 stealth." No one can see me. I'm a fucking ghost.
And so they are. Yeah, you get over to the stockpile. You can be wherever you want within a 30-foot radius of where you stood.
I'm gonna try and sneak behind the
mangler.
mangler.
Okay, fantastic. Would you like an attack?
Yes.
Go for it. Using your daggers.
Yeah. I'm trying to decide. I have normal daggers and I have the cult daggers that I stole from the cultists in the second game.
I remember.
I'll use the cult daggers because then it's prettier.
Okay. These curved reflex daggers. Go for it. 11?
Yeah.
And you get advantage on this because the guy's flanked, I believe, and that gives you sneak attack damage potentially.
Another 11.
Another 11, you miss. Probably you go for it.
Can I hide again afterwards?
You can, yep. So that would technically be using your bonus action to hide. Yes, but you'd have to. You're in combat with the thing.
Okay.
Now it's aware of you, so you. It would be a very difficult DC.
Okay.
Or you could use your bonus action to disengage from it.
Disengage.
So that means you're technically not in the lead.
I'll disengage.
Okay, fantastic. So you just sort of combat roll,
Yeah.
saying combat roll, behind a piece of hay.
Yeah.
Judo chop.
Yeah. Just a handful. Chop. Judo. How much judo do you know?
It was Austin Powers.
So
It's fine.
Don't worry.
The best jokes are the ones you have to explain.
It's an old reference, sir, but it checks out.
Thank you. Really feeling my age right now.
Yeah. Too young to be sat
I'm going to take a -1 to my self-esteem.
What, it's at -5 now, is it?
Yeah, it's not doing great.
The Rangers are firing off arrows, and they're really beginning the battle. They're starting to pick off the cultists and the patrols of cultists that are around. The plan was that you guys would take the Mangler, and they would sort of mop up everything else, and they're doing a really good job of that. The farmers, as yet, are cowering. That's what that one means. So no help from them yet. That brings us back up to the top, which is Harvey.
In that case, I leap into the air just to be out of the way of things.
I
And
thought you were going to say dramatic about it.
no, well, that too. That comes naturally. And I fire my crossbow at the Mangler.
Okay.
Which is an attack roll of 16.
That hits, yeah.
Cool. So where are we? 1d8. That one. 4.
4. So yeah, you jump into the air and fire off this crossbow. The bolt travels into the mass of flesh that is the Mangler, and it does stick it, but the thing doesn't react. It just the flesh barely reacts. It seems this is a tough cookie. You've got your hands on here. And it is now the Mangler's turn. It's going to use its flurry of claws attack. Now, who have we got in combat with it? Not you. Not you.
I'm right next to it. Mm-hmm. And I'm guessing that whole shield of faith or whatever it was that Kid Matt...
No, you still have that.
Even though his emotions have been calmed and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's still concentrating on that.
Okay,
So,
yeah, good.
Because I am a generous DM.
Thank you.
Oh, look, there's a natural 20.
You are so generous, mate.
I know, right?
I've already had to throw death saving throws once in this game.
Try and stabilize you.
Okay. Right. So what happens is the thing roared at the end of its last turn, and it rears itself up to about 6.5, nearly 7 foot, and its 6 claws just all slash at you at once. You can't dodge them all. You do manage to get out of the way of most of them. Your shield of faith deflects one of them, but you are hit for 24 damage as...
What?
Oh!
I mean, I'm not unconscious, but...
She's not happy.
Okay, I know it's not much to ask, and you can say, no, you're not allowed that. It can't see, but my head is on fire. Does at least one of the claws, get a little bit hot?
Sure.
It's unpleasant for it.
Roll a d6 fire damage.
5!
Okay, I'll allow that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so these claws tear into your clothing and open up your flesh. It's scary.
I'm pretty sure, because disguise... Oh no, disguise self isn't concentration, but she probably just lets it drop anyway.
Yeah.
Shock.
Okay, so you're no longer looking like a cultist, and in fact you grow a little bit taller, and your hair's on fire again, and Ganassi self is revealed. Yes, so that's the Mangler's turn. Wonderful, isn't it? That brings us to Flair's turn.
She wasn't gonna do this because Kid Matt and a few others are in range, but because of the damage it's just done to her, she doesn't trust the sword much against it. So she is gonna cast Shatter.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Shatter is an area of effect spell that is going to, you know this, but for the audience, that is going to hit Kidmat, Markson, and Telemachus.
Love your friendly fire, don't you?
She just goes from a lot of extremes. And this is why you have a plan, so that this doesn't happen. But yeah, so she casts Shatter, which is you just kind of see her hair, the flames go almost white hot for a second, and then they fade back to what they normally are. But when they go white hot, there is just this ear-piercing ringing sound that just kind of cascades out from her. And each creature in a 10-foot sphere and she's centering it like on herself because she's right next to the mangler, needs to make a con saving throw.
Constitution, that is, as this thunder reeks out. Start rolling your damage, so it'll be 3d8.
Yep.
6. So all of us fail.
Is that including the mangler, though?
Including the mangler. The mangler has also failed, so at least there's that.
I mean, the maximum I can do is what it did to me. 14.
14, okay.
Yeah. So it's something.
Yeah, so Telemachus, you get hit hard by that. And indeed, Markson and Kidmat are driven back slightly. And good job, really, because they're not here.
Much like the last combat that she was in, she just ends up kind of going, sorry! Because she keeps hurting others.
Because the ringing in the ears, so it's just like...
Yeah, and Fleur has not realised that at all.
Locke, you are quite a ways away, chasing a stray grue, which is now 50 feet... it would be another 80 feet away from you, because it's just sprinting full pelt.
Very majestic as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Good. In that case, I'm going to use my 30 feet to get.
So it's now 50 feet away from you.
Cool. And then I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers on it.
Ooh.
Because then it has to roll, not me. And let's face it, that's probably for the best.
Is that Wisdom?
Yes.
Which I believe is like a -3.
What should you get? A natural 20 now.
It's a +0. Oh, okay. It is.
I told you would! Still takes half damage.
It is a natural 20, yeah. So a critical success.
Still takes half damage though.
Yep.
So that's 7 points of damage it takes.
Okay. It is. To be fair, it stops for a second and it howls to itself as these horrendous thoughts start entering its mind, but it doesn't know what to do, and it halts in its path.
I'm giving it my low self-esteem. That's what I'm shouting at it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to scream at it as well in a kind of ragey kind of way.
Okay.
To get its attention.
Fantastic. It turns to you, and it is going to come for you on
Good.
its next
That's
turn.
what I want.
Fantastic.
I have a plan.
Good.
What plans?
Glad somebody does. Telemachus.
I would like everyone to know that I have rolled 3 6s in a row, so I am cursed forever.
Oh, are you?
James has not been rolling well.
I've rolled at least 10 ones since we've been playing since the start of this last 18 hours.
So it's turning towards Locke.
No, so that's the grue. You didn't
the other
see
one.
any of
Oh,
that.
God,
the
okay.
mangler, so what you see is the mangler has just completely torn open Flair's disguise and she's bleeding from many wounds now. And then Flair shattered and this thunderous damage knocked out your hearing. That's where we're at there.
Harvey's a cleric.
Harvey is a
You've got
cleric.
the healing stuff, right? So can I shout Can I just say, you take care of her, and then I'll cover you!
You're shouting way louder than you thought you were.
I'll cover you! And try and shoot it with crossbow. Or run a bit...
Have you got a crossbow or is it a short bow?
Short bow, sorry.
Short bow, yeah.
Yeah. Run so I'm slightly... Oh no, they're pretty close, aren't they? Maybe try and run a little bit over
backwards?
to the side. Yeah, so
Yep.
that it's facing me in the next turn. And
Okay, sure, absolutely. You roll with advantage.
23. No, 22.
You might as well roll again just in case it's a crit.
22!
22! What is it with you and your...
I know, I've got doubles and triples today.
Okay, well that hits anyway, so
Great.
that'll be your d6 damage for the short bow and then an extra 2d6 for a sneak attack.
This is with the +3s?
Yes.
Okay. 15.
15. Good shot.
Oh yeah.
So you release the arrow, and it manages to actually find, because it opened itself up after the shatter, you actually managed to find a soft spot just underneath its maw, and you do cut open a wound in it. It's starting to look like it's hurting. A couple more of those and it will be dead.
Telemachus is laughing. But also, again, really loud because I can't hear.
Okay, and that brings us to the Rangers versus the Cultists.
That sounds like a football match in Scotland.
No, that's Rangers and Celtic.
I get it confused.
This time the Cultists actually have rolled higher, so narratively the Rangers had the good drop on them, but the Cultists have the higher numbers and they're starting to swarm around the Cultists. Their Grues have been released and the Rangers are having a bit of a hard time. The Grue turns around and attacks you, the one that you were chasing across the field, and misses entirely because I rolled a 4.
Yeah, that's not nice, is it?
So it jumps towards you and you just step to the side and it
Lovely.
Yep.
I'll take it.
Fantastic. And that brings us back to Harvey.
Okay.
So, yeah, go on.
Well, so first of all, can you just kind of
Do a
recap
recap
what
for
I'm
you.
seeing?
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. So you had that flurry of claws that damaged Flair so much that her disguise dropped. She's bleeding heavily out of the front of her. Then she, in panic, shattered, which luckily you were flying in the air and it didn't damage you, but you saw that Telemachus did actually take a bit of a hit from it. The Mangler did as well. So what you see below you is 2 of your allies. If left alone, they're probably not going to be able to take this thing, and the monster.
Yeah. How healthy is the monster looking?
You would say that you'd probably have to do at least what you've done so far again.
Okay.
Before it would give up.
And just from a order of things point of view, am I right?
It's next.
It's next. Cool. Right. So, I'd like to cast Command on the Mangler.
Okay.
Which is a Wisdom saving throw for it.
And your DC is 13, we think.
Yeah.
Okay, I have rolled a 13, so that's a success. I'm afraid.
Awesome.
So as your eyes grow green again, as your eyes glow green again, and you shout the command word. What was the command word?
Well, the command is on its next turn.
Yes, but what are you commanding it to do?
Well, I need to do my bonus action before that.
Okay.
I land in front of it. I pull out one of my ore grenades.
Okay.
And cast Mending on it, so to prep it as to explode. I stand in front of it and I just say, "Eat."
Oh! Nice. Okay, I did save against it, but that was a good little plan. Yeah. So Harvey plops down in front of it, eat the ore grenade, and it turns towards you and roars. Just.
That would have been so cool.
That would have been
a really good plan.
Amazing.
That was a great plan. Now it's its turn. I get to roll to see if I get my flurry of claws back. Oh, look, I do. So it's
Okay.
so it's
I'm
now.
the one that's right in front of it now.
Yeah, it's now coming for you.
Yeah.
What's your AC there? Your armor class?
15 with the shield.
15 with your shield. So that's 2 hits. 4 hits, so for 32 damage.
I'm down.
So what you guys see is it leaps on Harvey and just begins to tear him to shreds. The ore grenade fizzing away underneath it in Harvey's hand.
Okay.
This
Can we
is
not say that as the orc grenade is prepped, it attacking me sets it off, surely?
if you like.
Hey,
That's not Harvey. No, Harvey.
I mean, and from Harvey's point of view, that's maybe not the best thing, but from a physics established,
Roll for it.
Roll, yeah.
what am I rolling exactly?
Just roll a d20 and we'll do a half and
3.
half. Yeah, okay, so we're going to say that it does set off then. So, Harvey, you take an automatic death saving throw. Failure.
Right.
So, how death works is that when you're unconscious... Have you had this explained?
No, not really.
When you're unconscious, you have death saving throws. If you get to... the one you get to 3 first of is what happens. So, if you roll 3 failures, you're dead. If you roll 3 successes, you're alive.
And
you're
it's a
stabilised.
d20 and it's 10 and above is a success.
Is it 2 failure saves because he's unconscious? Okay,
That's 2
so...
automatic fails, just because you took damage when you're unconscious.
I know that Dottie is the fan favourite, but Harvey is definitely my fan favourite, and I'm very upset.
On the plus side...
Yeah, me too.
Well, you did this. I was creating tension.
I know.
On the plus side, the ore does explode into the mangler as well, and it rears back, leaving your body limp on the floor, bleeding out. It looks pretty rough now. It really does. So, that takes us to Flair's turn.
Okay, I want to go over to Harvey. Just having seen this explosion and the fact that he does not look good.
He does not look good.
And when I was on death saves and she came back to consciousness, it was Harvey who'd healed her. So it feels appropriate. Run over and just put my hands on him and cure wounds.
Okay, so that's at first level or second level?
I don't have any second levels left. So I'll
Okay,
have to be
first
at
level.
first.
So 1d8 plus your charisma modifier.
Yeah. Come on. 5.
Okay, well, so you come back to consciousness with 5 hit points. You're still bleeding all over you, but you're not imminently slipping into the gates of death.
You're welcome.
Harvey wakes up, and this touching moment happens underneath the mangler, which rears over it.
Can I do one other thing as a bonus? She doesn't have time to get her loot or anything. But when she says, "You're welcome. We need you," and the "we need you" is bardic inspiration to Harvey.
Fantastic. Okay, so 1d6 that you can use on any of your checks from the forward. So that brings us to Locke. You're in combat with this grue that you have struck, and it does look like it can go down quite easily now.
If I cast Eldritch Blast, will it get an attack of opportunity?
No, but it's a ranged attack, so it'll be a disadvantage.
Can I move away from it so I'm not in there?
It will be your action to disengage. That's the problem.
But if I just move and he gets an attack of opportunity.
Oh yeah, you can do that. Yeah, if you want. It'll snap at your heels as you run away.
I will do that.
Okay. It hits. So people taking risk. I did roll really low on the damage though, so you only take 3 piercing damage as it just manages to grasp at your heel as you turn and try and get some space for your magic.
Well, Leo, as I have just been attacked by a creature within 60 feet of me that I can see, I can cast Hellish Rebuke as a reaction. Lion! So if you could
no, I'm excited.
make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, I've got +1 on this.
No worries.
17.
Which means it takes half damage on 3d10.
Woohoo!
Okay, roll your damage.
I expected you to pass. That's another 7 points of damage.
Total?
Yes.
So I get half that.
Yeah, no, 7 is what you get. I've halved that.
7 is what I get.
Yeah, I got.
So
14.
it was 14, half to 7. Okay. Cool. Would you like to describe to us how your Hellish Rebuke looks? What happens?
Yeah, as soon as it attacks me, with a kind of my eyes start to kind of fire flashes in front of them, and I turn back and point at it, and suddenly flames just gather on its body like it's eating him.
Absolutely, and it crashes to the ground and stops moving.
Brilliant. And then with my actual action, I'm going to run.
Okay, fine.
back to
so you
these
use the
guys.
dash action to try and get
Yeah.
back. You are 90 feet away.
Cool.
Just
Well,
so
I have
you
a
know.
nice little jug.
Yeah.
I've saved a farm. That's all I wanted.
Fantastic. You have saved a piece of cattle somewhere from death.
That's
like
for
a
you,
whole-
Kidnap.
Yeah, that's like the livelihood of someone, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna
true.
eat that
Yeah.
cow.
It matters. Right, Telemachus, you've seen this touching moment happening underneath the mangler. You've also seen that these two, maybe not combat-oriented people, are just about to get mangled.
Yeah. I'm gonna short bow it.
Short bow. Fantastic. Go for it.
16.
16 hits.
Is also turned away from me. Can I hit?
I'm going to say you can get your sneak attack done, yeah. It is somewhat distracted.
Maths. Sorry. 24.
24? What did
Yeah.
you roll?
5, 6, 4 plus. Wait, is the plus 3 only once?
Yeah.
Plus 3 is only
fuck.
once. Not all
Sorry.
three. Not all 3 dice, yeah. So minus 6 from 24 is 18.
Still a lot. Yeah, that's decent.
You would have killed it with that one arrow. I was like, whoa.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. So yeah, you fire another arrow and find the exact same spot that you did before, and you've started to create a gushing wound of this purple gunk just coming out of this thing. It's not pleasant to watch, but
I want the arrow to
and-
go into the exact arrow as before, so it like splits the arrow.
through.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure,
Cool,
why not?
Robin Hood.
You guys have got this purple gunk dripping down at you at this point as it's reared over you. Let's see how the Rangers and the cultists are doing. And at half time, it's 19 apiece. So the battle is raging. The Rangers and the cultists are really getting into it now. But it looks like the battle is probably on the Rangers' side of things as the barbarians catch up from up on the hill. You can't help but wonder how long it'll take for reinforcements to arrive from the capital, because you're not being subtle at this point.
Can I ask quickly?
Yes.
Potions and stuff like that. Is that an action?
So it's a bonus action to take one that you have yourself. But if you're like giving one to if you're making someone else drink one, or if you're taking one off of someone else to give to them, it's an action.
I was gonna give it to them, so.
Okay.
I'll do that.
That brings us to the top of the round, doesn't it? So that's Harvey.
Okay, so I'm going to, as my movement, grab Flare and just take off.
Okay, so you have to use half your movement to stand up because you were
Okay.
dead. You were unconscious, sorry.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, are you willing, Flare? Technically, it's a willing
But
creature.
the thing is, the way that you were holding Telemachus before, right, was just like that.
Yeah, just kind of grabbed him. Oh, them.
Like, Flare is going to resist to a degree because hugs don't go well for Flare because her head is always on fire. And
I guess
it hurts
I'm
other
grabbing
people.
you around the waist then? Like,
if you go for that
like
so
your
that
waist
my
is
head
there,
is
so
definitely
your head's
clear,
way up here.
then
like,
yeah,
I've
no
got,
resistance.
I've got feathers. I'm
Okay.
not getting near those flames.
It does get an attack of opportunity at you as
Right.
you fly up into the air. However, it has rolled an 11,
Right.
which will miss you. So as you and you only get about 25 feet up,
Right.
it misses you with its claw and it desperately tries to attack you.
Okay. So that's my movement. My attack. I'm going to
Don't forget your hands are sort of held up,
Right.
so you wouldn't be able to do crossbow or anything like that.
No. I would like to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Okay, sure.
Um,
What's your spiritual weapon? And that's a bonus action technically as well. Spiritual weapon,
Yeah, it's both.
isn't it? Bonus action to make it attack, and it can attack on the first round. If I remember.
Yeah.
So
So-
what is your spiritual weapon?
You know what? I hadn't even given it any thought. My spiritual weapon.
It could be whatever you want. We had some silly ones last year. Didn't
Yeah,
we?
no, I'm trying to think. I'll try and think of something better for next time. It's just a big axe
Just the big axe. Sure.
for the moment. Yeah, why not? Yeah, it's a giant upside. You know what? A smashed beer bottle. I'm
smashed
gonna glass this thing. I'm bottling it.
You can.
So, do I have to roll to cast, or do I roll?
You don't have to roll to cast. No, it appears.
I roll the attack.
So this spiritual, translucent. What color?
Green.
This green, spiritual, translucent, smashed beer bottle appears in front of the mangler and comes in for a shank.
And do I have to roll an attack roll?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah.
Okay.
Not great.
No.
That's a shame. I really wanted that to be the end of this creature.
Does that work on
It's such a low roll.
No, it's not worth it. I don't think.
It is
What's
quite
your
It'd be your
bonus?
Wisdom, yeah.
So it'd be it's a
What
is
would
it
be
a
the
9?
bonus for that?
It'll be proficiency
It's
plus
a 9.
spellcasting.
So
Right.
it would be possible mathematically, but you'd have
You'd
to
have
get
to
high.
roll like 5 or 6, I'm guessing.
Gonna go for it. 3. Okay.
3. Okay, never mind.
but
So
then
it comes real close, and the mangler just snips out of its way.
And so then the bonus action, I can move it 20 feet and attack with it.
Yeah.
So I will move it to the other side.
So that was what we just did there.
was it?
Yeah. So it
Oh, okay.
attacked. It attacked as the bonus action. So it was the action
thought-
to make it appear, and then your bonus action to make it attack.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's just not what it is.
I thought it was. Yeah.
Oh right. Okay. Fine. So.
So I
From
can't-
that, from no, so
Right, okay.
not this
Sure,
round.
that's
So,
fine.
so
Yeah,
that's
basically,
fine.
it's
It's
made so that you get 1 attack with it each turn.
Gotcha. Fine.
Sorry, buddy. So we go to Flair from there. No, we don't. We go to the Mangler. You haven't been saying you've been hiding.
No, but I've been okay. That's
You haven't.
No.
I have
and,
witnesses.
No, and actually, I was doing it on purpose so that they weren't hit.
And when Telemachus hides, they say that they're hiding.
Yeah, they do. So I've just rolled another 6 for getting my flurry of claws back. So it's going to turn around. I know, the mechanics work so that this shouldn't be a thing I can do every turn. But hey, R.I.P. What's your AC? 15. So that's cocked. So that's 1 hit, 2 hits, 2 misses.
Nice knowing you.
3, 4 hits. So again, 32 damage spread across 4 attacks. As the Mangler turns on its heels, bounds towards Telemachus and just rips them across their chest with these horrible limbs that are all over its body. I presume that puts you down.
I didn't even have 32 to begin with.
What did you have? Well, it's 4 attacks, so it won't insta-kill you. But, okay. Flair, that's your turn. As you watch your elf friend get mangled again below you.
Because how far away are we?
25 feet.
25 feet?
You're 25 feet up, and it's just run away a little bit, but you're about 30 feet away.
And who is nearby and conscious?
Yep.
Only us?
You guys.
Just us?
Yep.
War is a little bit
You
away?
see a lock-shaped blur coming towards you.
Okay. Well, I don't really have much that's going to do damage magically. So I think because he's holding on to her. Take out both my daggers and throw. I know it's going to be at disadvantage because it's over. No, it's all right, isn't
It's
it?
about 30 feet, so it is at disadvantage because it's 20 /
And one's offhand, so it won't have any
bonuses
roll.
anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
So roll the first one with disadvantage. We just communicated a lot of maths there, but basically it's difficult what she's doing.
Just this might not seem like a good plan. The only other thing I could do is make it laugh.
You need a 14.
I need a
14.
Wish I had that power.
yes. Yes, that's a with a disadvantage. That's a 15.
Oh my god! Yeah! Roll second dagger.
And this one is flat roll, isn't it?
Yeah. This is flat
roll.
roll.
Flat roll. No, that's a 10.
Okay, roll damage for the first dagger then.
Okay, it's not. Daggers don't do much damage. Come on. 4.
How do you want to do this?
Yes!
It had 3 hit points.
Yes!
I think. Can it be that the first one actually was the missed one?
Okay, sure.
So she misses with one of them, And then what she does is, because she's used to kind of like doing that, just the very tip of it goes into her hair. And it's not like it can't necessarily catch on fire, but there's just like this red hot tip of a dagger as it swings through the air and then implants, like, I want to say like right in the neck of it, that just cracks
Absolutely.
it.
And there's a gush of purple horribleness that goes all over Telemachus' unconscious body. As the mangler and falls onto the farm produce that was in the middle of the dancer, starting bleeding purple.
Don't worry, I've saved a cow.
It was a really good plan, everyone. Plan completed.
And with that, that's where we're unfortunately going to have to leave this hour of Adventurers Wanted. So thank you very much for coming. Please do feel free to drop back in and see where the adventure leads them, where their rebellion, what ridiculous plans they'll have in the future. If you do want to come back for the next hour, you will have to refresh your ticket back at the box office, however. You can also buy tickets to come and play with us up here on the stage. We've been live tweeting everything. If you don't want to, or if you can't come back, sorry. Why would you not want to? Why would you not want to?
I love the story, but I hate watching those people tell it.
I love the story, but I prefer reading. Reading's great, and you can do that on Twitter at Adventurers250. We've been live tweeting the whole thing, or if you'd rather watch us later or follow along live on twitch.tv/Adventurers Wanted. Hello, Twitch. We're also on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Patreon. If you really like what we do, we try and do this once a month in London, yeah, you can help us achieve bringing D&D to a wider and wider audience. Very quickly, before we say goodbye, I'm going to hand over to our players to plug something. So, Chloe, would you like to kick us off?
I'm not doing many of the shows on the Fringe, but I am doing one tomorrow night, which is Imaginary Porno Charades. It's quite a self-explanatory title. I will be there. James is, I think, a team captain on the opposing team. So watch us get
she's
competitive.
decided to not be on my team, just so you know.
I'm
She'll rule the day.
I'm just very competitive, and I just...
You'd be great on my team.
You already said you didn't want me on your team. Anyway.
That's true.
So yes, and that's tomorrow night at Sweetgrass Market at 10, I think, 10.
Okay.
Yes, so that.
I'm working on a show at the Traverse called Coriolanus Vanishes. It's had some good reviews, some 4-star reviews, and it's good. You should come see it. It's on at different times every day, so I'm not going to list it. So.
I'm doing a show for children, so if you have any kids you've left at home, feel free to bring them to that. It's at 1:20 at Sweet Venues, either one, and it's really good. It's called Dr. James's Bad Schemes. I'm also doing a grown-up show just next Monday and Tuesday, which is Beauty and the Beast meets Fight Club. It's called Beast Club. We're going to have a lot of copyright infringement issues.
Fantastic. Nemo?
I'm not in any shows, but I'm going to promo my friend's show. It's called Lady Killer. It's at Pleasance Courtyard at 1 p.m. So if you run, you can make it. It's on every day. And it's I've been told that if you've ever worked in customer service, it's relatable because it's about someone who I think goes on a rampage because of customer service. So,
okay. So all that is left for me to do is implore you to give our wonderful players a round of applause. Thank you very much for coming, guys.